Let's go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fans of the Heartland, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling as we present the 4th of July pay-per-view broadcast, Freedom Festival 2026. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live from the Dave Cave as we visit the legendary Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio, the Nut House on the campus of Wright State University, where Heartland Championship Wrestling was born all the way back in 2006. And we have already got a bunch of cool kids in the chat room already. Frank Wainscott wearing his Freedom Festival 2026 t-shirt. On the back of the shirt, Freedom is not free. So welcome, Frank. Neely Bob is here wearing a velvet REW Fed War t-shirt in red, white, and blue. The posse didn't come. And it's my understanding that the Velvet Posse has a big show scheduled for later on this evening. And we are very much looking forward to seeing those results. Bear 805, Christopher Baker, the man, the myth, the legend, the Galacticon West 2026 Galactic Cup champion. Congratulations to you, my man. And hopefully you will give us some updates throughout the broadcast. And those of you who are broadcasting your own shows over this weekend, please give us up-to-date information in the chat. And I will visit the chat in between matches. And we will keep up with everything. So Bear 805, we would love to hear about your exploits at Galacticon West 2026. Your new Galacticon champion. Woohoo, says Bear 805. It was Cleveland, Ohio. It was 2015 when yours truly was had the privilege of winning the Galactic Cup tournament. I have never been a Champions of the Galaxy player, so I had to get some help, and I was recommended a character by the name of Shane, Shayne, who was new to me at the time. And with the help of Shane, I was able to capture the Galactic Cup Championship way back in 2015. And the kids have only gotten cooler since then, as Bear 805 will attest. Brian Hoxie is here with his shirt that simply reads, "The British blew a 13-colony lead." Thank you for sharing that, Brian. I got to spend a little time with Brian in Eau Claire, Wisconsin a couple of weeks ago at the Play Fest. Brian, of course, working on his own fighting game that he is working on. Alan Capolitano 400, happy to be here live in the chat as well. So yeah, Brian, give us some updates on your game. Brian's game, more of a I don't know if it's a boxing or MMA style game, but it's kind of a prison setting where the prisoners fight against one another for freedom and other benefits. Some cool potential there, and a lot of work has gone into that. Brian demoed his game for me a couple of weeks ago. And here's more from Bear 805. Black Terror led him to victory in the West Coast tournaments. Congratulations indeed. All right, tonight here in the Dave Cave, we have got 8 matches. Freedom Festival 2026, the Freedom Festival traditionally where grudges in the Heartland are settled. And we're going to start off with a series of grudge matches here tonight. Also, both the Heartland World Heavyweight Championships, singles and tag team, will be defended, as will both of the Butcher Legacy Champions, ladies and men. Bob Orton Sr., your Butcher Legacy Champion, is live here tonight in Dayton. Looking forward to defending his title against a gauntlet of men. I've never done a gauntlet before, and so it will be fun. Ken Patera, Jack Brisco, Bruno Sammartino, and Flying Fred Curry among the challengers. And with that, let's go ahead and get it started with tonight's opening contest. Ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest is scheduled for one fall to a finish with no time limit and no disqualification. Brought to you by Pro Wrestling Mid-America. Coming to the ring first, and I might add all by herself, is the valet for this match, the one and only Missy Hyatt. Missy, of course, has been connected with Hollywood John Tatum. Missy also has had a wandering eye for one Dan Severn, and although Dan Severn did not immediately return her affections, he did object to the treatment that Missy was receiving from Hollywood John Tatum, and so he did the right thing and got himself involved, leading to tonight's contest. And Missy Hyatt is standing in the neutral corner. Hollywood John Tatum yelling at her, Dan Severn stoic, really keeping his eyes on Tatum more so than Missy Hyatt, as Tatum is potentially a dangerous opponent in the ring, especially with the affections of a woman at stake. So with Missy at ringside, we will introduce first, out of Hollywood, California. He stands at 6'3" and weighs 258 pounds. This is John Tatum. And his opponent hails from Coldwater, Michigan, standing at 6'2", weighing 251 pounds. This is the Beast, Dan Severn. All right, so Dan Severn and Hollywood John Tatum to square off here in no-holds-barred competition, no disqualification here, as the two men come together in the center of the ring. Grudge match dice in play. As we get things rolling with Dan Severn taking the opening initiative and coming at John Tatum with a series of forearm uppercuts that send John Tatum reeling. Severn follows that up with some knees to the head. Brutal MMA-style maneuvers there from Dan Severn. And now a fireman's carry slam takes Tatum down to the canvas. Tatum quickly up to his feet, but Severn still in control. And Severn with another attempted knee to the head, but Tatum is able to block that. And Tatum fires back with a slap to the face. Oh my goodness, John Tatum just slapped Dan Severn across the face. Missy Hyatt watching very closely at ringside. Tatum doing a little posturing there, and now Tatum tries a hip toss, and Dan Severn blocks that. And it is Severn following up with another fireman's carry slam that takes John Tatum over the shoulder and down to the canvas hard. Dan Severn now in control. Comes out with a bow and arrow submission style hold. And John Tatum is going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And here we go. And on a roll of 5, it is going to be Tatum, I believe. Excuse me, no, out of the ring, C5. Yes, that's the best man win roll. And Severn does have the advantage on the arena floor, so he will win the battle on the arena floor. And we'll get our cards out here. And we will learn that Severn took the measure of John Tatum and slammed Tatum onto the announcer's table. John Tatum not very happy about that. Neither is the announcer's table. But as they come back together in the ring, it is going to be Severn with a shoulder slam opportunity, a choice G maneuver, which will either be a death jump rating of B or a power rating of 0. So he'll do the death jump, and he hits the shoulder slam, and Tatum is once again down. And now Severn is going for the armbar. Submission hold applied by Dan Severn. Tatum will not tap out, as Missy Hyatt again is now seeming to be rooting on Dan Severn, as Severn is in control. That only further aggravates John Tatum. Severn doing his best to maintain his focus on the match as he continues to work a bow and arrow submission hold. Tatum gets up to one knee. Severn still in control. Severn now with a whip to the ropes. Coming off the ropes is John Tatum, and on a roll of 9, that is the power roll. And the power indeed belongs to Dan Severn, and he knocks Tatum back down to the canvas. This match has been all Dan Severn so far. Severn again pummeling John Tatum with these knees to the head as Missy Hyatt cheers him on. And now Severn going to attempt a gut wrench suplex, a choice F maneuver. He will need a roll of 7 or lower to hit that. And on a roll of 8, Tatum is able to reverse the attempted gut wrench suplex. And it is Tatum coming back and slamming the face of Dan Severn down to the mat. Tatum now in control. Another face slam to the mat. Severn getting to his feet. Tatum is right on him. And another slap to the face. Oh my goodness. John Tatum is looking to get under the skin of Dan Severn, and it may be working here. Now a fireman's carry takeover attempt by John Tatum is blocked. And Severn instead is going to try that gut wrench suplex again, and he's not able to get that done. They're struggling in the center of the ring, and a big elbow smash by John Tatum stuns Dan Severn. Tatum follows that up with a big axe handle off of the second rope. Severn is staggered, and Tatum comes at him now with a hooking clothesline, and that's going to send Dan Severn out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on the arena floor, it's going to be Hollywood John Tatum on a roll of 7, winning the brawl on the arena floor, and a diving clothesline off of the ring apron from Tatum to Severn takes Severn down to the floor. And now Tatum is going to go for the California kick. That's a pinning predicament. The pin roll here is 4, and on a roll of 5, he almost got him. Dan Severn barely kicked out after that California kick. Missy Hyatt at ringside now seems to be cheering on John Tatum. Her loyalty seemed to lie with whoever has the advantage in the match at any given moment. And now Tatum with a big vertical suplex takes Severn down to the canvas once again. Tatum going to follow that up with a whip. Let's see, that's a choice B. So that would be turnbuckle A or agility. So he'll go for the agility roll, and he misses the agility roll. Attempted a choke on the ropes there. Severn dodges that one and comes back with another stiff knee to the head. John Tatum's head is going to remember those knees for quite some time. And now a belly-to-belly throw by Severn takes John Tatum down to the mat. And Severn is going to follow that up again with an attempt at a shoulder slam. And he is not going to get it done this time. As he tried for the shoulder slam, it was Tatum. Tatum, who scored with a big elbow smash right between the eyes. And Severn now is down. And Tatum now goes for that vertical suplex once again. Tatum now back in control, and once again Missy Hyatt's loyalties seem to be pretty fluid in this match as Tatum delivers on a choke on the ropes, and Severn is struggling now. Tatum continues his assault. He's going to attempt a knee drop. He's going to need 8 or lower to hit that, and he is successful. And Dan Severn is still struggling to get back to his feet. Tatum comes at him again, and again is going to go to that choke on the ropes move. Severn being choked on the ropes finally is able to break free, and they come back together in the center of the ring. And Severn goes low with a double leg takedown and gets Tatum down to the mat. Tatum winning on some of the brawling tactics, but now that it's a mat wrestling match once again, it is Dan Severn back in control. Now with a gut wrench suplex that takes Tatum over and down to the canvas. Tatum slow to get to his feet. Severn's on him now with a fireman's carry slam, and now Tatum is out of the ring and down to the arena floor, and Tatum has some bad intentions in mind. What is John Tatum going to pull here on the arena floor on a roll of 8? He is going to go for a foreign object. John Tatum has got the ring cabling, and he's going to try and choke Dan Severn out with the radio cable. And we'll see what happens here. And indeed, it is Severn and Tatum battling over that ring cable. And now Severn's got the ring cable around the neck of John Tatum. John Tatum not able to meet the intensity of Dan Severn, and now it is Severn who is choking out Tatum with the ring cable. And Missy Hyatt is shrieking as she is panicking for the well-being of both men. They come back into the ring, and Severn tries again to go for the submission hold. That's his primary mode of attack, and he gets it hooked in briefly before Tatum escapes. And now Severn is going to go with a gut wrench suplex over and down to the canvas goes John Tatum once again. Severn continues to battle with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Tatum, and Severn takes him down with a running shoulder tackle, followed by a big elbow smash. Tatum is going to return fire here with a hip toss that takes Severn down to the canvas. And Tatum follows that up with another big second rope axe handle. Dan Severn is stunned. John Tatum back in control. A hooking clothesline is delivered. Tatum continues on the attack. He's going to try that knee drop once again. And this time Severn rolls out of the way. And Severn takes control once again with another gut wrench suplex over and down to the canvas hard. Tatum now is down. Severn, can he get the finish here? He's got the armbar locked in. Is Tatum going to give it up? And yes, Tatum is forced to tap out. So Dan Severn controls this match with his technical expertise and taps out John Tatum in humiliating fashion with the armbar. So Severn wins it with the armbar. What is going to happen now with Missy Hyatt remains to be seen. Dan Severn still wants nothing to do with Missy Hyatt, as John Tatum tries to get to his feet and tries to appeal to Missy Hyatt, and she is just going to walk out without both of these guys. Severn has been ignoring her advances, and he's still not interested. But he has proven his point to Hollywood John Tatum, and Missy Hyatt has left Hollywood John Tatum high and dry in the wake of his submission. So a very unhappy night for Hollywood John Tatum here in Dayton, as he goes home without the winner's share of the purse and without his lady love interest. All right, and with that, let's catch up in the activity in the chat room. Bear805 with some more details about his glorious Galacticon West Championship. I did terribly in the Legends, Indies, and Battle Royal tournaments. I was first eliminated in the Battle Royal by none other than the man himself, Tom Filsinger. But then the stratagem Bear805 coming up with Black Terror to take him to the promised land and score the victory in the West Coast Filsinger Cup Championship. More from Brian Hoxie on his boxing auto battler. Adding a Fights Across America during the Depression theme. Boxers travel from small town to small town, duking it out to make a little money. Yeah, I can see where that would provide some compelling storylines and maybe some good characters and some good rivalries, as these traveling boxers go from place to place looking to entertain and perhaps lighten the purses of the small town spectators around the good old US of A. And finally, we hear from Neely Bob in contact with Velvet while watching the match. So yeah, I know there's a show coming up tonight, Neil, that you mentioned earlier today, and we would love to hear who is going to be involved in those matches. And now that takes us to our next match, which is another grudge match, this time a tag team match brought to you by Heartland Ladies Wrestling. And this match is all the responsibility of Heartland Ladies Champion Porsche Perez. She has been manipulating. She has been relying on outside interference from her tag team partner, Nicole Matthews, in virtually every title defense that she has had. And not only that, but has made plenty of enemies along the way. Her last title defense against Nicole Savoy ended in a disqualification when Nicole Matthews got involved. Her previous feud with Jordynne Grace also involved a lot of participation from Nicole Matthews. And finally, the Heartland ladies had had enough, but Porsche Perez forced a tag team grudge match between two very popular teams. The team of Nicole Savoy, your number one contender, and her partner Mercedes Martinez, and former Heartland ladies champion Jordynne Grace with her partner Allison Danger, another longtime rival of Porsche Perez. Well, Martinez and Savoy won that match, and in so doing earned the opportunity for a grudge match tonight here in Dayton against the dastardly Canadian Ninjas. So, ladies and gentlemen, your following contest is scheduled for one fall. With no time limit and no disqualification, this will be a tag team matchup. Introducing first out of Waterbury, Connecticut, standing at 5'7", weighing 147 pounds, this is Mercedes Martinez. And her tag team partner hails from Sacramento, California. Currently the number one contender for the Heartland Ladies Championship. She stands at 5'7". She weighs 147 pounds. This is Nicole Savoy. So Nicole Savoy, another MMA performer extraordinaire, along with the quintessential professional wrestler Mercedes Martinez. What a credit, what a great career she has had. And they are here tonight, maybe to wrestle, but primarily to fight against the very dastardly duo known as the Canadian Ninjas. Introducing first out of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. She stands at 5'8". She weighs 140 pounds. This is Nicole Matthews. And her tag team partner out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, standing at 5'3", weighing 122 pounds. This is your reigning Heartland Ladies Champion, Porsche Perez. All right, we are set to go here. And it is going to be Mercedes Martinez. Nicole Savoy is calling out Porsche Perez, and Porsche Perez refuses to get into the ring. Nicole Matthews will be the one to start this match. And she will move out against Mercedes Martinez as Nicole Savoy just wants a piece of Porsche Perez in the worst way. And as they come together, it is Nicole Matthews earning the initiative, and she's going to attempt a hip toss. That's a power move, and Mercedes, with the power advantage, able to block that, and Mercedes now goes to work on Nicole with repeated forearms, pummeling away at Nicole Matthews, much to the delight of the fans here in Dayton. And now it is Mercedes with a whip to the ropes. Coming off the ropes, it is Nicole Matthews, and on a roll of 3. Mercedes made an emotional error there, setting her head too soon. Nicole comes out, grabs her by the hair, and just rams her knee right between the eyes of Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes is staggered. Nicole is now in control, and Nicole is going to pitch Mercedes Martinez out of the ring and down to the arena floor, and here we go. On the arena floor, the battle will be won by Mercedes Martinez. Both these ladies A-rated brawlers, but it is Mercedes slamming the head of Nicole Matthews into the ring post. And Nicole Matthews is stunned. Back into the ring goes Mercedes. And she is going to perform a big power slam on Nicole Matthews. Nicole slowly getting to her feet. And that will be the opportunity for Nicole Savoy to tag into this match. Savoy and Matthews. Savoy coming out with a big butterfly suplex that takes Matthews down to the mat, and now Matthews is going to roll out of the ring once again. And on the arena floor this time, it's going to be Nicole Savoy winning the brawl on the arena floor with a foreign object. Nicole Savoy taking after Nicole Matthews with the video monitor. She's clearing the table, and bang, she just hit Nicole Matthews in the head with the video monitor. And Nicole Matthews feeling the effects of that one as Savoy is now in control, and Savoy now locks in the Savoy lock. This is a 0 submission hold, and Nicole Matthews taps out. How about that? Just like that, Nicole Matthews has tapped out. She took the video monitor to the head. She got locked in the Savoy lock and immediately tapped out. And Nicole Matthews and Porsche Perez have hit the ground running, and they are hightailing it out of the arena. Gosh, this may have been the plan all along, and that did not win any fans here in Dayton, Ohio. At the first sign of danger, Nicole Matthews taps out, and Savoy and Martinez are your victors. But they got no satisfaction out of this match whatsoever after working so hard to finally get this grudge match scheduled. Porsche Perez never even hit the ring. Nicole Matthews, as soon as she got locked in the first submission hold, tapped out, and that was the end of that. Oh my goodness gracious. Nicole Savoy on the chase after Nicole Matthews. There's going to be a brief fracas on the arena floor, and Nicole Matthews once again able to escape, leaving Nicole Savoy and Mercedes Martinez in a state of frustration. What different could you expect from those dastardly Canadian ninjas? Finally, you think you've got them cornered, and once again, the ninjas live to fight another day. As we say hello to Bobby, Captain Carl 8230. Great to see you here, Bobby, in the chat room, and part of tonight's 4th of July broadcast of Freedom Festival 2026. Thank you for your kind words about the Heartland Championship Wrestling and about the rankings video that we posted earlier last week, or I believe it was last weekend we posted that video. And yeah, if there's any other information I can provide, Bobby, please let me know, and I'm always happy to share the experiences with 20 years of promoting Heartland Championship Wrestling here from the Dave Cave. And now, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to our next contest. Another grudge match. This one brought to you by Patriot Championship Wrestling, a long-time Patriot Heavyweight Championship Wrestling faction, formerly known as Bagpipes, Beatboxing, and gosh, I can't even remember the name of it. Bagpipes and Beatboxing and Body Slams. I think that's what it was. But anyhow, Roddy Piper started that group. He was the bagpipe player. Big Van Vader joined as the lead vocalist. Mark Henry played the accordion, and Percy Pringle III was your beatboxer. But that band has fallen apart, and it was Roddy Piper who took the beating as a consequence, as he took a beat down from Mark Henry and Big Van Vader and was ceremoniously dumped from the faction that he helped to create. And tonight here in Dayton, that showdown between Mark Henry and Roddy Piper will go down. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with no disqualification and no time limit. Introducing first, accompanied to the ring by Percy Pringle III as the boos rain down here in the Nutter Center. Standing at 6'4" and weighing 384 pounds out of Silsbee, Texas, this is the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. And his opponent hails from Glasgow, Scotland. Standing at 6'2", weighing 232 pounds, this is the Rowdy Scotch, Roddy Piper. So Roddy Piper, Mark Henry, set for grudge match action here in Dayton, Ohio tonight. Grudge match dice once again in play. And it is Mark Henry on the attack immediately with a double forearm hammer to the back of Roddy Piper. Thought he would catch Roddy Piper unaware, but no, Piper takes it, and he immediately grabs Mark Henry by the back of the neck and bulldogs Mark Henry down to the mat. Piper going for the quick cover, and Henry forced to kick out. Wow, Piper wasting no time. He probably expected that Pearl Harbor job out of Mark Henry, and he was ready for it. Taking Mark Henry down with a bulldog and a quick cover, and now Roddy Piper is in control. A swinging neck breaker and another pin attempt, and another kick out by Mark Henry. Roddy Piper not looking to hurt Henry, but looking to humiliate him here with these wrestling moves. And now another swinging neck breaker and another pin attempt. And again, Mark Henry kicks out, and Percy Pringle has seen enough. Percy Pringle pulls the referee out of the ring, and it is Henry who is going to attack Roddy Piper as the opponent is pulled out of the ring, and Henry now is in control as the distraction is effective. And Henry is going to go up for a second rope splash. This is a choice G maneuver, so he'll need a roll of 8 or lower to hit that, and on a roll of 2 he nails it, and he's going to go for the cover on the hot rod and force the hot rod to kick out. Well, I don't know what these two are up to, but it is bad blood left and right, as Henry now is going to try that same maneuver again, and this time it is Roddy Piper rolling out of the way of that splash, and that sends Mark Henry crashing into the canvas. Piper now hits Henry with a big knee lift. Piper trying to get Henry off his feet. Another bulldog, another pin attempt, and another kick out by Mark Henry. But he is in some trouble now, and Henry is going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor, and here we go. Shenanigans brought to you by Mark Henry. He is going to set up a table on the arena floor. Let's see what's going to happen here. The table has been set up, and now it is Piper and Henry battling it out, and it will be Mark Henry who power bombs Roddy Piper through the table. Roddy Piper takes a hard fall through that table, and he is slowly getting to his feet, staggering back into the ring. Mark Henry now has the advantage. Mark Henry is going to try and choke Roddy Piper on the ropes, straddling the neck with that big thick leg. Henry is now just going to stand on the chest of Roddy Piper and prevent him from regaining his wind. The two men get to their feet. They come together in the center of the ring, and it is going to be Roddy Piper with a double forearm clap across the ears of Mark Henry. Mark Henry is staggered by that. He hits him again, that double clap across the ears, trying to disorient Mark Henry. And now a flurry of punches delivered by Roddy Piper, backing Henry into the corner. Lefts and rights, and now a big knee lift delivered by Piper. He's going fists and fury on Mark Henry. A bite to the forehead. He's biting him. Oh my goodness, I hope Roddy Piper has had all of his shots, because he just took a chunk out of the head of Mark Henry. And now Piper goes to the eyes, and Henry has had enough. He comes back, and it is going to be Mark Henry with a big elbow drop, and Piper rolls out of the way of the big elbow smash, and it is Piper instead who is going to attempt an atomic drop. This is a choice D maneuver, and on a roll of 6, he's able to get him up but not over, as Henry powers his way out of that. And it is Henry now who just shoves Roddy Piper into the corner. Out of the ring we go again. What's going to happen this time? It is Roddy Piper rolling out of the ring. And it is now going to be Piper who is going to attempt a foreign object. Piper now has the ring mic, and he's going to try and bust open Mark Henry with that ring mic, and Henry blocks that, takes the ring mic and nails Roddy Piper out between the eyes. Percy Pringle with the assist there, helping Henry to gain control of the ring microphone. Henry now in control and in the ring. Going to try that second rope splash again and again. Roddy Piper able to roll out of the way. Back and forth we go. Piper once again going to the eyes. Mark Henry is staggered. Roddy Piper with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Henry. And on a roll of 7. That is a running back elbow delivered by Roddy Piper that stuns Mark Henry. Another bite to the forehead. Mark Henry to his feet. A trickle of blood starts to come. And it is Mark Henry now ramming the back of Roddy Piper into the turnbuckle. Mark Henry now with a big military press slam, and Roddy Piper is down. And now it is a big splash by Mark Henry, weakening Roddy Piper. Henry now in control. A backbreaker delivered. And Piper is stunned. Henry remains on the attack with a whip to the turnbuckle. Coming off the turnbuckle, a huge clothesline delivered by Mark Henry with those massive arms. Henry stays on him. Henry pummeling fists and forearms to the back. Roddy Piper fires back and again bites him right on the forehead. The teeth of Roddy Piper have proved to be a valuable weapon here. And now it is Piper with a bulldog. He's going to go for the cover. And Percy Pringle again distracts the referee. Mark Henry is in trouble here, and now we've got Vader coming to ringside. What's going to happen with Vader coming to ringside? Piper's got to work quickly. He locks the sleeper onto Mark Henry. And Mark Henry is finally able to survive the sleeper. And that is going to subject Roddy Piper to a 2-on-1 attack by Mark Henry and Big Van Vader. Piper now taking a beating. Lefts and rights. Percy Pringle has the referee tied up at ringside. As Roddy Piper is taking a pummeling. And Mark Henry is going to make the cover and get the 3 count after a pummeling, a 2-on-1 pummeling delivered by Henry and Vader to Roddy Piper. So just when it looked like Roddy Piper had that match in hand, Mark Henry, with the help of Percy the Pringle, able to survive the sleeper hold, bring Van Vader into the ring. And after a series of double team moves, Mark Henry gets the pinfall on Roddy Piper here in Dayton. I don't think we've seen the end of these hostilities yet. And if I were Roddy Piper, I'd be out recruiting some assistants, because Roddy Piper is as tough as they come, but when you're up against 800 pounds of big bad dudes, you're going to need some help. And Roddy Piper is probably going to be in the market for backup after that 2-on-1 beatdown delivered again tonight by Mark Henry and Big Van Vader. All right, so all is quiet in the chat. So we will continue on with a quick drink in our final grudge match of the night. As the steel cage is being lowered. As you may recall, Ted DiBiase, the leader of a new faction known as the Golden Dynasty, has ruffled a lot of feathers around the Heartland with these so-called Golden Dynasty challenges. DiBiase, along with his stable mates Barry Windham and Kurt Hennig and Kenta, have been inviting wrestlers to attempt to defeat a member of the Golden Dynasty and earn membership in that select fraternity. Well, these matches have turned out to be nothing but a bunch of squash matches, as Chick Donovan was unable to take out Kurt Hennig. Then we saw Bastion Booger hit the ring, and he gave Barry Windham all that he could handle. And Barry Windham had to rely on the assistance of Ted DiBiase to get a win over Bastion Booger. And at that point in time, Ted DiBiase was attacked by a masked man. Somebody with some sort of a grudge against Ted DiBiase. We don't know who that man is, but that man has agreed to a cage match here tonight against DiBiase on the conditions that he reveal his identity. So introducing first out of Omaha, Nebraska, standing at 6'3", weighing 245 pounds. This is Ted DiBiase. DiBiase entering the cage. He's got Wyndham and Hennig with him at ringside, but they're not going to be able to do any good as this match will take place in the steel cage. And now coming down to ringside, it is this man, Bastion Booger. The fans are cheering wildly. Hennig and Wyndham are laughing it up. But Bastion Booger is here evidently to back up the masked man, who is now in the ring and attacking Ted DiBiase. The match has already started in the ring as DiBiase and this unknown individual in the hooded sweatshirt are going at it. All right, it appears that we are back. Sorry about the delay. Internet access issues in the Dave Cave. But we do appear to be back as DiBiase and this masked man are dueling out in the ring, and now the masked man is attempting DiBiase has the masked man trapped in a cobra clutch, and the masked man goes out. The hooded man has gone out, and now it is DiBiase who has successfully taken out this masked individual. And now he is going to remove the mask. And who do we see here but Larry Zbyszko? Larry Zbyszko was the masked man, but Ted DiBiase able to get the victory in the steel cage by way of the Cobra Clutch. The issues between DiBiase and Zbyszko go back to the Butcher Legacy Championship, the attempted reign of Larry Zbyszko, who got Ted DiBiase into a tag match, which they lost. All right, fans, it appears that we're still having some connectivity issues here in the Dave Cave, but we will do our best to keep things rolling as the solo promoter, Grant Bachoco, is here. Welcome, Grant. We just had the unmasking of Larry Zbyszko as the attacker of Ted DiBiase after DiBiase put his lights out with a Cobra Clutch in the steel cage. Breaking news from Frank Wainscott. The WWA Fed Bruno Sammartino defending his world title in a cage against Ox Baker at the end of July at Boiling Point. Win, lose, or draw, Bruno will retire. And happy 4th of July to you, solo promoter. Thank you for hosting Galacticon West. We had Christopher Baker, the Galacticon West champion, here earlier in the show. And Christopher, if you're still around, the accolades were provided to your Galactic Cup West Coast champion. I'm curious, Grant, if that was the first ever official West Coast Galactic Cup championship, or if there had been previous West Coast Galacticon tournaments that would qualify. All right, so welcome and happy birthday to Neely Bob. I missed that somewhere, or maybe I didn't. But now we are ready for tonight's championship matches. First, we will have the Heartland Championship matches, beginning with the Heartland World Tag Team Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, your following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules are in effect for this one, as this is for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. Introducing first the challengers. From San Francisco, California, Standing at 5'10", weighing 230 pounds, this is the crippler Ray Stevens. And his tag team partner hailing from Beverly Hills. Standing at 6'1", weighing 245 pounds, this is Nick Bockwinkel. So Bockwinkel and Stevens, your current Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Champions, have once again worked their way to the top of the rankings, where they will challenge the team that has held the NWA World Tag Team Championship in the Heartland now for over 1 year. They are led to the ring proudly by Jim Cornette out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, standing at 6'1", weighing 225 pounds. This is Sweet Stan Lane. And his tag team partner out of Huntsville, Alabama, standing at 6 foot even and weighing 233 pounds. This is Beautiful Bobby Eaton, collectively known as the Midnight Express. So the Midnight Express, your World Tag Team Champions, defending those titles here tonight in Dayton, Ohio, against a very capable team of challengers in Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens. We'll see if Bockwinkel and Stevens can be the ones to dethrone the Midnight Express after over a year holding the NWA Tag Team Championship. And it will be Sweet Stan Lane starting things out against Nick Bockwinkel. And as they come together in the center of the ring, it is going to be shenanigans right from the get-go. Brought to you by Sweet Stan Lane, and on a roll of 55 from your Face to the Mat highlight booklet is the wrestler Smart. Both these two men are smart. And so I would give the advantage in smartness to Nick Bockwinkel, as I would give Nick Bockwinkel the smartness advantage over most of the human race. And so as a result of that, it is Bockwinkel who is going to take control and provide the distraction as Bobby Eaton takes a beating outside the ring, sponsored by Ray Stevens, as Bockwinkel was jawing with Jim Cornette in the ring, and Stan Lane had his attention focused on that. Ray Stevens sneaks up on behind from Bobby Eaton and crashes him down off of the ring apron down to the arena floor, and that's going to cost Bobby Eaton a point of fatigue here before the match even gets started. Stan Lane still the legal man in the ring. Jim Cornette is beside himself with anger as Stevens gets back up onto the ring apron on his own side of the ring. And in the ring, it's going to be Bockwinkel immediately rolling Stan Lane over into a Boston Crab right off of the get-go. So gosh, Bockwinkel and Stevens taking the initiative here, fighting fire with fire before the fire can even be lit. Bockwinkel now in control, an abdominal stretch on Sweet Stan Lane. Stan Lane reaching out to tag Bobby Eaton. Bobby Eaton still hasn't made it back to the ring apron yet, as Jim Cornette is helping him to recover. Cornette fanning him with the tennis racket, doing everything he can to get Bobby Eaton back into fighting shape. And it is Nick Bockwinkel in the ring and in control against Stan Lane. And he now is going to attempt a drop kick, which is a choice C maneuver. And he hit the drop kick, and Stan Lane is dazed, but getting back to his feet. Bockwinkel now back in the ring and in control with a whip to the turnbuckle. Coming off the turnbuckle now, it is Stan Lane who eats an incredible neck-breaking clothesline delivered by Nick Bockwinkel. And Bockwinkel is going to follow that up with a knee smash to the back. This is a choice H maneuver. He's either going to need death jump A or an agility roll of 6 or lower. He'll take his chances with the agility roll. And Stan Lane able to avoid the knee smash to the back. And Lane fires back with a whip to the turnbuckle. Nick Bockwinkel coming off the turnbuckle and eats a big kick from Stan Lane that stuns Nick Bockwinkel. The Midnight Express seems to have stabilized after that opening flurry. Now it's another whip to the turnbuckle, and this time it is a reversal. Nick Bockwinkel reversing Stan Lane into the turnbuckle, and Lane comes off into the turnbuckle and catches Nick Bockwinkel with a skull-splitting running lariat. Nick Bockwinkel is stunned, and Nick Bockwinkel is down. Stan Lane now with a chance to do some damage. Eaton is back up, and they are going to go for the rocket launcher. Rocket launcher to be attempted. Eaton coming off the top rope and going for the cover, and they may get him. And just like that, they got him. Wow! I don't believe what I just saw. Nick Bockwinkel has been pinned by beautiful Bobby Eaton after the pre-match Pearl Harbor job. That has got to be some sort of a miracle. Eaton looked like he was half dead or else playing in the World Cup, one or the other, because it took a month of Sundays to get him up off of the arena floor. And maybe that was a little bit of playing possum on the part of Bobby Eaton, because once Stan Lane was able to get control and take Bockwinkel down with a running clothesline off of the turnbuckle, Eaton was right on the top rope, rocket launcher executed, and the cover is made for the pinfall. Nick Bockwinkel has been pinned by Bobby Eaton here in Dayton after that rocket launcher. And the Midnight Express have once again, by hook or by crook, this time I would say by hook, successfully defended the NWA World Tag Team Championship. So Jim Cornette is strutting around like the bull of the woods. Eaton and Lane cocky and just as full of themselves as they can be, as Nick Bockwinkel leaves in dejection with Ray Stevens, his tag team partner, alongside. So congratulations once again to the team of the Midnight Express for an improbable defense of the NWA World Tag Team Championship here tonight at Freedom Festival 2026. Wow, I did not see that coming. Out of nowhere, the rocket launcher and the 1, 2, 3. And Jim Cornette is going home to Mama Cornette a happy man. All right. An update from Grant. Every time we've had a Galactical event, we've crowned a West Coast Grand Champion. This year we sent the West Coast Grand Champion to the Galacticon Cup. That's how I'm spinning it anyway. So yeah, congratulations to Mr. Baker. And Grant, I'm curious if you ever won the Cup or who the other Cup winners may have been. I don't even know who frequents those West Coast Galactic Cups. I was a regular at the East Coast when it was within driving distance. Then I relocated to Madison, Wisconsin. I think I tried to fly out there once or twice, but it's been a minute since I have been to any of the Galactic Cup events. But yeah, I miss those days. Yeah, and these days I'm attending more general gaming events like the Play Games conventions and the regional gaming conventions, where I take my Filsinger set and show it off proudly, but also get to participate in baseball and golf and roller derby and football and all kinds of other events, in addition to the great game known as Legends of Wrestling. All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, your NWA World Heavyweight Championship match here in the Dave Cave. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This is a match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger. Out of Boston, Massachusetts, he stands at 5'11", weighs 252 pounds. He was your winner of the 2026 Money in the Bank ladder match, which afforded him the opportunity for a title shot here tonight at the Freedom Festival. He is the one and only Kevin Sullivan. And his opponent, your reigning and defending NWA World Heavyweight Champion, out of Camden, New Jersey. He stands at 6'1" and weighs 227 pounds. This is the original Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers. So Buddy Rogers set to defend against Kevin Sullivan. People might think this is a bit of a mismatch, and observers, you would not be alone in that assessment. But we've seen some surprises tonight. We've seen some interesting plot twists. Maybe we'll see another one here in our World Championship match. As they come together in the ring, it is indeed the Prince of Darkness, Kevin Sullivan, who gets the opening initiative role, and Sullivan comes out with an eye rake, going straight to the eyes of Buddy Rogers, exactly the kind of tactics one might expect. And now he follows that up with some karate thrusts. Buddy Rogers fires back with a forearm uppercut. That is a power move. The power between these men is equal, and Buddy Rogers holds the agility advantage. Kevin Sullivan staggers back, and Rogers comes at him with another hard punch. And Sullivan now standing his ground. They're going toe-to-toe. And now it is a big drop kick delivered by Buddy Rogers, and immediately Sullivan rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And I bet we'll see this more than once in this championship match. On the arena floor, it is Kevin Sullivan winning the brawl with a head slam into the ring apron. The head of Buddy Rogers hitting the ring apron. And fans, as we all know, the ring apron is the hardest part of the ring. He is going to get a stern warning, but no disqualification from the referee in charge. The third man in the ring for this match. Sullivan in the ring now and in control. And he is going to go right to the pile driver. That is his +2 finisher. The pin roll here is 3 or lower. And on a roll of 9, Buddy Rogers kicks out. And the way things have gone tonight, I would not have been surprised if the title changed hands on that very move, because we've seen a couple of unexpected outcomes in matches earlier tonight. But Kevin Sullivan is just getting started, going to work on Buddy Rogers. And now the pile driver again. The pin roll this time is 4 or lower. And on a roll of 10, Rogers again kicks out. Consecutive pile drivers by Kevin Sullivan after slamming the head of Buddy Rogers into the ring apron. Buddy Rogers' head has got Excedrin headache number 400 tonight here in Dayton, Ohio, as Sullivan now hits him with another pile driver. You heard the dice rattling. This is not a rig, but now the pin roll is 5 or lower, and on a roll of 8, Rogers kicks out again, and now a trickle of blood appearing on the head of Buddy Rogers as Kevin Sullivan has taken control, and Sullivan now has got Buddy Rogers tied up in the tree of woe, stomping and pounding and kicking away. The referee finally intervening, getting Buddy Rogers out of his entangled position at the turnbuckle, but Sullivan stays right on him with a big brutal knee lift. Rogers wipes the blood away from his head, waves his arms at Kevin Sullivan. Come on, come on, come on, he says. And it is Buddy Rogers now grabbing Kevin Sullivan for a whip to the ropes. Sullivan coming off the ropes eats a big back body drop from Buddy Rogers that takes Sullivan down to the canvas. Rogers trying everything he can to regain the momentum here. Delivers a big drop kick to Kevin Sullivan. Goes for the quick cover. And oh, Sullivan barely escaped that foot over the ropes. And now it is Buddy Rogers in control. Can Buddy Rogers capitalize here? He is going to go for a big elbow drop. And again, he nails Kevin Sullivan right smack in the sternum. Sullivan is down and Rogers is in control. And now it is going to be Buddy Rogers going for a chokehold. And after the chokehold, Buddy Rogers is going up to the top turnbuckle for a death jump. And oh, Sullivan takes him down to the canvas. Rogers went up for the death jump. And Sullivan grabbed him by the trunks, slams him off the ring top turnbuckle. And again, with a handful of trunks, he goes for the cover. And on a roll of 6, Rogers again forced to kick out. Kevin Sullivan again taking control in this match. And Sullivan now with a foreign object. And that is going to be an add 1 against Buddy Rogers. Rogers busted open. Sullivan may be disqualified here, and he will be disqualified. Double snake eyes on Kevin Sullivan. After that foreign object blow, the disqualification has occurred, but Sullivan ain't done yet. Sullivan keeps on Buddy Rogers, wailing away with that foreign object. And he is going to continue his attack on Buddy Rogers. Referee storming the ring, but it's too late. The damage has been done, and this feud is more intense than ever. Buddy Rogers is going to have to endure an injury roll against five points of damage. And we'll see what happens to Buddy Rogers. Rogers may have been injured by Kevin Sullivan in that post-match attack. Sullivan being hauled out of here like a crazed maniac. Referees, wrestlers from all over the place. Christopher Baker, your Galactic Cup champion, even getting involved in hauling hauling Kevin Sullivan away from the ring. Because who's afraid of the Galactic Cup champion? That is, everybody is afraid of the Galactic Cup champion. And with the assistance of Christopher Baker, the Big Bear at ringside, Kevin Sullivan has been hauled away. But the damage has been done as Buddy Rogers lies unconscious in the ring in a pool of blood. So Rogers is your winner by DQ. But Kevin Sullivan has made his mark here with the foreign object to the head of Buddy Rogers, busting open your NWA World Heavyweight Champion. All right, an update from Neely Bob. The Velvet card is ready to run. So we look forward to the full recap of that. And it is now time for our Butcher Legacy Tag Heavyweight Championship matches. As it has been about 6 months now since we lost our good friend Kevin Butcher and created the interpromotional Legacy Champions in his memory. And Kevin, still think about you every time the dice hit the table. We love you, brother. And for Trent and for Matthew and all the Butcher clan, we wish you all nothing but the best. All right. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This match is for the Butcher Legacy Ladies Championship. Introducing first the challenger. Representing Great North Wrestling out of Honolulu, Hawaii, standing at 5'4", weighing 125 pounds. This is Malia Hosaka. And her opponent is your reigning and defending Heartland Ladies Champion, representing Hollywood Elite Wrestling out of Pearl City, Hawaii, standing at 5'7", weighing 162 pounds. This is Leilani Kai. Leilani Kai, Malia Hosaka, two legendary performers in the history of ladies wrestling back in the 80s and 90s, before the before the era of the over-sexualization of lady wrestlers, which then thankfully has transformed into a new era of, very athletic and highly trained, competitive lady wrestlers, the likes of which we are blessed to be with. But Leilani Kai and Malia Hosaka definitely throwbacks to an earlier era of combat sports, and both ladies served this profession very well. And in the case of Malia Hosaka, continues to occasionally do so. And as they come together, it is Leilani Kai who is going to take the initiative, and she comes out with a snapmare with the hair. I didn't say Leilani Kai obeyed the rules, although she did have an excellent career. Malia Hosaka quickly back to her feet, and now a drop kick by Leilani Kai takes Hosaka down to the canvas. Leilani in control with a big scoop slam. Hosaka getting back to her feet, and Leilani is on her now with a butterfly suplex. A very impressive series of moves here by the champion. Hosaka back to her feet, and a double chop off the turnbuckle delivered by Leilani Kai. Hosaka has been stunned. Leilani maintains the offensive now with a whip to the turnbuckle. Coming off the turnbuckle is Malia Hosaka. And on a roll of 6, that is a reversal, and it is Leilani Kai who is sent into the turnbuckle. And as Leilani comes off the turnbuckle, Malia Hosaka gets her right in the breadbasket with a spinning back karate-style kick. Fine martial arts move there by Malia Hosaka to take control. And Malia now comes with another series of karate kicks. Getting it done, weakening Leilani Kai, who drops to one knee. Malia now with a whip to the turnbuckle. Leilani coming off the turnbuckle, and this time on a roll of 11, it is Malia Hosaka who nails Leilani with an incredible neck-breaking clothesline. Malia Hosaka now in control, and Malia with a reverse spin kick. Again, taking the starch out of Leilani Kai. Boy, Malia with her strikes tonight have been right on point. Another whip to the turnbuckle. Leilani Kai coming off the turnbuckle, and this time she is the faster on the draw, and she nails Malia Hosaka with a skull-splitting running lariat, and it is Malia Hosaka who goes down. Quickly, Leilani Kai makes the cover, and Malia forced to kick out. Leilani Kai now back in control. Leilani is fixing to go up for the death jump. Death jump coming for Leilani Kai here, and on a roll of 7, it is a flying clothesline off the top turnbuckle by Leilani Kai, putting Hosaka back down to the canvas. Leilani now rolls her over into the Boston Crab. Boston Crab applied. Malia refuses to tap out. And Malia is reluctant, but she will go out of the ring and down to the arena floor. As Malia not someone who thrives on the arena floor, and sure enough, Leilani Kai is going to win that brawl on the arena floor and ram the back of Malia Hosaka into the ring apron, hoping to slow down some of that agility and slow down some of those martial arts maneuvers that Hosaka has delivered with such great effectiveness here tonight. Now a step over toe hold to be attempted by Leilani Kai. This is a choice F maneuver. So she will require a roll of 9 or lower to successfully complete the step over toe hold. And on a roll of 10, Malia is able to get to the ropes quickly and avoid that. And as Malia gets to her feet, she is going to hit another spinning kick to Leilani Kai that stuns Leilani, backing her away. Both ladies slowly getting to their feet. They come together in the center of the ring. And as they come together this time, it is Malia Hosaka with another spinning kick that stuns Leilani. Malia follows that up with a flying double chop. Starting to pick up the pace here. Malia follows that up with another flying double chop. Leilani getting to her feet. Malia is on her once again with a monkey flip, and this time Leilani is able to block the monkey flip. And Leilani comes back with a blow to the head. A stiff punch delivered by Leilani Kai. Leilani now comes with a double chop off of the turnbuckle, and now she is going to attempt to maneuver. Leilani is going to attempt to maneuver Malia Hosaka into a surfboard, and she is able to apply the surfboard hold. And again, slow down Malia Hosaka. The surfboard will be applied again, and again the surfboard is successful. And again, Malia showing signs of discomfort. As a third attempt at the surfboard again is successful. Leilani slowing the pace of this match down to her liking after all those flying moves and spinning kicks that Hosaka previously used to punish the champion. Now a double chop off the turnbuckle misses, and it is Malia in control with a whip to the ropes. Leilani comes off the ropes, and on a roll of 9, that is a power roll, and the power roll belongs to Leilani Kai as they collide in the center of the ring. Leilani has the momentum to put Hosaka down to the canvas. Another big double chop delivered by Leilani, followed up by another surfboard that is weakening Malia, and Malia now drops to both knees as the pain of that surfboard is really starting to take effect. And now it is Leilani going up for a death jump. I don't know about the wisdom of this, but she's going to give it a try, and she's going to pay the price as Malia gets to her feet and takes the legs out from Leilani Kai as Leilani was mounting the turnbuckle. Malia now with a chance to do some damage. A flying dropkick delivered that stuns Leilani. Hosaka now comes back with another flying double chop. And Leilani Kai is going out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on a roll of 7, it is Leilani winning the brawl on the arena floor and slamming Malia Hosaka onto the announcer's table. Rough stuff there by Leilani Kai as Malia wandered into enemy territory outside the ring. Leilani Kai now going for the running splash. This is her finisher. The pin roll here is 6. And on a roll of 8, Malia able to kick out. Leilani Kai trying to get the finish here. She goes back to the step over toe hold. She needs a roll of 9 or lower to complete that, and she's got it in place. Leilani will not be able to force Hosaka to submit. And now she picks her up and body slams Hosaka down to the canvas. And now Leilani going up for that death jump again. This time successful with a big flying double axe handle off of the top turnbuckle. Now the death jump to be attempted yet again by Leilani. And again she nails it. That flying double, let's see, on a roll of B9 on the death jump. That is a successful flying clothesline. B10 is where trouble starts. So Leilani in control, and again she's going up for that death jump. She is stubborn. And this time Malia makes her pay the price yet again, pulling her off of the top rope and getting her in a pinning predicament. The pin roll here, snake eyes, but on a roll of 11, Leilani able to wiggle her way out of the pin attempt. Malia may have been using the ropes for leverage there, but Leilani able to escape. Malia now in control with the Frankensteiner. The pin roll here is 5, and on a roll of snake eyes, she got her. So Malia Hosaka wins the Butcher Ladies Legacy Championship here in Dayton. Leilani Kai went to that death jump one too many times. Malia made her pay the price and then caught her with a Frankensteiner, pinning her shoulders to the mat for the 1, 2, 3. Another new champion crowned here at Freedom Festival 2026. Actually, that's our first title change, as the Midnights won, Buddy Rogers won by disqualification, but now Malia Hosaka, your new Butcher Legacy Ladies Champion. All right, another comment by Neely Bob. She's on the Velvet card tonight. I'm not sure who you're referring to. I assume that's Malia Hosaka, who has made some appearances in Velvet Wrestling. But yeah, fill us in on the details. And again, very much looking forward to the results of tonight's big show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for the Butcher Legacy Men's Championship. All of the great promotions represented here tonight. In random order, these men will enter the ring, and the last survivor will challenge Bob Orton Sr. for that Legacy Heavyweight Championship. The participants are your reigning and defending champion Bob Orton Sr., Jack Brisco, representing American Championship Wrestling, Bruno Sammartino, representing Heartland Championship Wrestling, representing Hollywood Elite Wrestling, it is Ken Patera, and representing Velvet Wrestling, it is Flying Fred Curry. So the participants are assembled. Cowboy Bob Orton, the top seed, will be the last one to enter the ring, and the other 4 men will be dispatched to the ring in random order. And the first man out will be Flying Fred Curry. Flying Fred Curry by random draw comes out first. And his opponent will be Jack Brisco. So Jack Brisco and Flying Fred Curry to get the action started here in tonight's Gauntlet match. And it will be Flying Fred Curry with the advantage. Starting things off with a drop toe hold. Jack Brisco quickly on the reversal. And it is Jack Brisco with a big suplex that takes Fred Curry down and out of the ring. And Curry's going to quickly go down to the arena floor. And it's going to be flying Fred Curry on the arena floor, getting the best of Jack Brisco and slamming the head of Brisco into the ring post. So Brisco quickly in trouble here. Flying Fred Curry with a jumping boot scrape. Followed up by a whip to the, a choice B, which is either a whip to the turnbuckle A, or choice B would be an agility of 5. Gosh, he's going to have to take his chances with the turnbuckle. No, that's going to work out for him. Curry with a big kick that stuns Jack Brisco. Followed up by a right hand punch. And Jack Brisco again is down and rolling out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And again, it's going to be flying Fred Curry taking advantage with a DDT onto the concrete. We may see a count out here. We will not. But Curry is in the ring and in control. And he's going to keep things happening here on the arena floor. And force Jack Brisco again to make that helpless crawl back into the ring where Curry is waiting. Curry now with that jumping boot scrape again. Followed up by a, thought about a whip to the ropes. Instead, he's going to roll up for a Beal throw. That's a power move. Brisco with the advantage in the power. Brisco also with the agility advantage. And it is Brisco coming back. Thought about a whip to the ropes. And instead, he's going to roll up and try for a double leg takedown. That is blocked by Fred Curry. And Curry with another big right hand punch just stuns Jack Brisco. Curry follows that up with another big right hand punch. Brisco will not stay down. And Curry comes at him with a rolling senton. Curry following that up with an attempt at an octopus hold. This is a choice D maneuver. Choice D. He will need 9 or lower to complete that. And he is able to get it done. And Jack Brisco again will not stay down. As the octopus hold again is applied and again is successful. And Brisco this time may be forced to submit. He will not. But he picks up his second point of fatigue. And Curry now is going to come at him from the skies with a death jump. And the death jump is successful. Curry stays on him with another flying head scissors and another pin attempt. And Jack Brisco able to kick out. Very fast-paced being set here by Fred Curry with another flying head scissors and another pin attempt. And this time he almost got him as Jack Brisco is beginning to accumulate fatigue. Now out of the ring we go once again. Jack Brisco on the arena floor. And he again is going to be on the receiving end of this brawl with a diving clothesline off of the ring apron. Fred Curry is living up to that flying moniker. And now the flying head scissors again. Followed up by another death jump coming from flying Fred Curry. And oh, dice overboard. My goodness, that one made it all the way across the room. Dice overboard indeed. And of course it is the clear dice that I got to find now against the yellow carpet. Here it is. And it is a 5, so that means another pin attempt for flying Fred Curry. The pin roll now is 6 or lower, and on a roll of 8, Jack Brisco kicked out again. My goodness, if Jack Brisco finds a way to beat flying Fred Curry, there's no way he's going to survive the rest of this this match. Death jump again coming from Fred Curry. Again successful on the roll, and now the cross body block stuns Jack Brisco. Now the octopus hold being applied once again. This time Brisco escapes, and it is Brisco who comes back with a drop kick that puts Curry down onto the mat. Brisco now with suplexes left, right, and center. And Brisco follows that up with more suplexes. He's going to go for the cover, and on a roll of 6, Fred Curry able to kick out. Jack Brisco now with the momentum. He's got the figure 4 leg lock locked in. On a roll of 6, he can catch a submission, but Curry again able to escape. Brisco follows that up with a lateral guillotine. Curry finally able to fight his way out of that. And now it is Jack Brisco thought about a whip to the ropes. Instead, tries to snap marry him over. That move is blocked by Curry. And Curry comes back with another big right-hand punch that stuns Jack Brisco. Curry follows that up with a big sit-down splash. He's going to go for the cover, and on a roll of 7, he got him. So Flying Fred Curry defeats Jack Brisco. And we'll see who is coming up next. So Fred Curry looking good here, representing Velvet Wrestling. But the next man up, and I will give Curry a rest break to subtract 1 fatigue token. The next man up will be determined randomly by the roll of the 12-sided. It's going to be number 2, and that's going to be Bruno Sammartino. Bruno Sammartino coming out to face Fred Curry to advance in the gauntlet. And Fred Curry again takes the initiative on Bruno and catches Bruno with a drop toe hold. Bruno quickly to his feet tries to take Curry into a hammerlock. He's got him controlled here briefly. A leg dive, takedown, and twist. Curry quickly back to his feet. And some ring wrestling going on here. A wrenching hammerlock again. And Curry again standing his ground against the technical wizardry of Bruno Sammartino. Bruno finally decides on a whip to the turnbuckle. And coming off the turnbuckle, both men try to hit their specialty moves. And both men are B rated off the turnbuckle. So Bruno Sammartino, the wrestler on offense, gets the advantage and takes over on level 3 offense. And now the Italian backbreaker has been applied. Bruno going right to the backbreaker. The submission roll here will be 7 or lower. And on a roll of 6, he got him. So Fred Curry taken down by Bruno Sammartino. And now Bruno has got control of the ring. And his opponent will be Ken Patera. We'll move Bruno over to the catbird seat here. Both these men starting off at 0 fatigue. And Bob Orton anxiously waiting in the wings for the winner of this fall to defend his championship. And Bruno now takes the advantage with a whip to the turnbuckle. And coming off the turnbuckle, he catches Ken Patera with a big kick. Bruno follows that up with a drop kick. Stunning Patera, and now relentless stomps being delivered by Bruno Sammartino. He tries for a pinfall on Patera. That is a superfluous attempt. And now Bruno is going to pitch Ken Patera out of the ring and down to the arena floor. I don't know about that strategy, but Bruno is going to win the brawl on the arena floor with an Irish whip into the ring barricade. Now, why would that be an Irish whip? Bruno Sammartino is Italian. Should we call that an Italian whip? Help me out there, fans. But Ken Patera is crawling his way back into the ring, and Bruno is going to go for a choice H maneuver with a knee to the side of the head, so he can either go death jump B with even agility, or on choice H, he can go agility of 8. So he'll go for the death jump. And he hits the death jump. When it's about even, I always go to the death jump because that always causes level 3 damage. And if you go to the other hold, you run the risk of doing only level 2 damage. So Bruno's still on level 3. And out of the ring we go again. And this time it is Patera who takes the fight to Bruno Sammartino, and we go to the odd even at ringside. The even roll will go to Patera, and on a roll of 6, Patera wins the brawl at ringside. And Patera now comes with a jumping knee smash, a choice C maneuver. He'll need a roll of 7 to hit that. And on a roll of 8, Bruno able to avoid the jumping knee smash. And Bruno takes control again with more of those relentless stomps, just putting a mud hole into Ken Patera. And now the Boston Crab applied by Bruno Sammartino. It's going to take a lot of work to weaken the massive back of Ken Patera. Patera struggles his way to the ropes and gets to his feet. And Bruno tries a drop kick and misses. So the Boston Crab had no impact on Ken Patera. Patera is now in control with an elbow hammer to the back of the neck, punishing Bruno Sammartino. A front face lock takedown executed by Patera, followed by another elbow hammer to the back of the neck. Punishment being delivered here, a high angle body slam by Patera. And Bruno getting back to his feet, and now a second rope knee drop by Patera. Bruno still will not stay down. Patera comes at him with another elbow to the back of the neck. Patera follows that up with another big body slam, and he's going to go for the cover here, the pinroll snake eyes. And on a roll of boxcars, Bruno kicks out of that one with authority. Patera still in control, and out of the ring we go again. And this time it is, again, we go to the double disqualification rolls. We'll not have any disqualifications here, nor do I want any. Instead, we go odd, even, and this time Bruno has the even roll. And on a roll of 4, it is Bruno who wins the brawl on the arena floor with a diving clothesline off of the ring apron. Bruno now back in control, going to go for a death jump yet again. And yet again, he is able to score a big jumping knee smash off of the top turnbuckle. Patera is down, and Bruno now goes to the Italian backbreaker. The submission roll here, 6 or lower, and on a roll of 7, Patera narrowly escapes. Bruno stays on him. Death jump to be attempted again, and again successfully hitting that knee to the side of the head. He goes for the pin, and on a roll of 9, Patera able to kick out. Bruno Sammartino, a face-first body slam. Patera stays down. He's going to go up for that death jump again, and again, he nails the death jump. Bruno now again going to the death jump, and this time he is taken down by Ken Patera, who slams Bruno down to the canvas. Much like we saw from Leilani Kai, Bruno going to the well one too many times. Patera now in control. Full Nelson has been applied, and he's now got the swinging full Nelson. That's a +3 finisher. The submission roll here, 6 or lower, and on a roll of 5, he got him. So Ken Patera takes down Bruno Sammartino with the swinging full Nelson, and that means Ken Patera will be the man to challenge Bob Orton Sr. for the Butcher Legacy Championship here tonight. Orton coming in fresh. Ken Patera gets a moment to rest, and he sits at 2 fatigue tokens as Bob Orton comes confidently down to ringside and immediately takes control with a attempt at an elbow smash to the face. This is a choice C maneuver. He'll need 7 or lower to hit that, and he nails Ken Patera with that elbow smash right between the noggin. And Patera is stunned by that. Step over toe hold applied. Orton immediately going for the submission hold. And he got him. Wow, just like that. 2 + 2 is, the submission was 4, and on a roll of 3, he got him. So the step over toe hold does the trick for Cowboy Bob, or for Bob Orton Sr., who successfully defends in a gauntlet match the Butcher Legacy Championship. All right, so entertaining match. Again, the first time I've ever tried to do a gauntlet match, and I gave the champion the advantage of coming in last, and I suppose that's how it should work. Maybe I could have done that randomly, but yeah, this is my first try. Booze from solo promoter, raining down as his man Ken Patera gave it his best try before giving way to the step over toe hold by Bob Orton Sr. So yeah, next up, I know Neely Bob is running a tournament of the women to come up with the next challenger, who will now face Malia Hosaka for the Butcher Legacy Championship. We have had all kinds of we have had all kinds of challengers come up for the on the men's side. And so what I am going to do is, in honor of the Galactic Cup Championship won by Christopher Baker, we are going to invite Christopher Baker to select any officially carded legend to have the next shot at Bob Orton Sr. and the Butcher Legacy Championship. So, Mr. Baker, Mr. Bear, if you are still here, Please post a response to this video or what have you. You will be invited to send the next participant after the the Butcher Legacy Interpromotional Championship in order to celebrate your victory. And I believe the East Coast grant was won by one of the Molesky kids. Is that right? Did I see that? One of the I'm assuming that's one of Mike Molesky's kids. So I don't know that any of the Molesky younglings have the opportunity to get involved. But Bear has agreed to select the next challenger for the Butcher Legacy Championship. So, Joe, is that one of Mike's kids? Grant, that was the winner. I haven't seen Kevin around as much as Mike. Of course, Mike has an official role with the Filsinger Gaming Company, so that would be a logical conclusion. But yeah, so congratulations to the Molesky family and to Bear 805, and we will anxiously await the next challenger for the Butcher Legacy Championship, and we will make that available to whoever wants to run that match. Negotiations will be held. One of Mike's kids, okay. So that's going to wrap things up from the Dave Cave here tonight. Thank you to everybody for hanging out. Thank you for bearing with me through the technical difficulties, and for a very enjoyable show tonight. Congratulations to all the winners. Bob Orton Sr., Malia Hosaka, Buddy Rogers by way of disqualification, and we'll have to get an update on his injury status. I'll try to run a highlight reel later this week. I'm also expecting the arrival of my Tragos Thez card set this week. And so maybe for the Heartland, for the highlight reel, we'll do a little unboxing and have an announcement on the injury to Buddy Rogers, an announcement of the next Butcher Legacy Championship defense, and updates from the rest of the crew. So yeah, keep those updates rolling in. It works really well for me if you drop me a message on Facebook Messenger and link me to the shows. That's very helpful to put those matches, those highlight reels together. And Neil, looking forward to seeing results from you this week, as well as the other great territories from around the Filsinger Games universe. So Captain Carl 8230, Neely Bob, Brian Huxley, Bear 805, the solo promoter Grant Pachoco. Who else did we see here earlier tonight? Frank Wainscott here earlier tonight. Kathy Evans. Oh, sorry, Kathy. I missed Kathy's arrival. Welcome, Kathy. Glad to have you here. And somebody else, Alan Capolitano, was here earlier tonight as well. And I think we got everybody. And Alan, please forgive me if I am butchering your name, Capolitano. Happy 4th. Happy to be here in the live chat. Happy to have you here. So thank you all, for everybody, for checking out Heartland Championship Wrestling here tonight and throughout all of the action from the Heartland universe and from the Filsinger Games universe as a whole. So from the Dave Cave, this is Dave Little signing off. That's our stream, and I am out of here.